Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Johnny,
I am Elliot.
and we are the Super Gamer Brothers.
And what is this? A Saturn game?
Indeed. Now, for the longest, okay. Well, first off, this is the action replay. This is we're getting this menu right here is because I have the action replay cart attached to the Saturn, which allows me to play. Besides obviously having all the benefits of an action replay, also allows me to play Japanese imports, which is how I was able to play Nocturne in the Moonlight, better known as Symphony of the Night, for the Sega Saturn, which I hope you guys enjoyed, assuming all three of you that watch it. But
The majority of the
Yeah.
1/6 of the people who actually watched it.
anyway, the reason we are here today is because for the longest time, besides doing a normal playthrough of Sonic the Hedgehog games with myself, I always wanted Elliot to do a Tales run of older games, and you guys also wanted that too. So I figured
Because you guys are jerks.
Elliot is going to do a Tales run of not only Sonic 2, but Sonic 3 as well. And I thought this is no better time than to show off Sonic Jam, which was one of the best things released for the Saturn in terms of Sonic compilations. In fact, it is the only Sonic compilation as far as I'm aware. But I also think it's one of the better ones for a lot of reasons. But first, this nifty intro, which
It reminds me of Namco Museum, to be honest.
Namco Museum Volume 5.
Yeah. That one.
If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, look it up.
Go on YouTube, Wikipedia, whatever. Or even Amazon for that matter.
Don't really care.
It's still a good compilation.
Now, for those of you unaware, Sonic Jam is a compilation of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles, with little extra perks added. Now, before we get started on Sonic, Green Hill Zone, no, hit start. Okay, anyway, before we get started on showing off Sonic 2 in Sonic Jam's mode, we're going to show off one of the other things that people remember the most with Sonic Jam is Sonic World, which, technically speaking, is Sonic's first 3D outing, if you're not including Sonic R. Personally, I don't, because Sonic R is a racing game.
So why is the Umbrella Corporation part of this?
I have no idea. Actually, these are missions. If you step on this, you start a mission up, and usually it's pretty basic stuff. Like, you probably couldn't read that as fast as it flashed on the screen though, but it wanted me to collect like 20 rings in under a minute, which is actually pretty easy to do because there are rings all over this place. And in terms of technically like Sonic's first outing in 3D, it's pretty, it's pretty smooth controlling. Sonic doesn't really go fast in this. He doesn't have a spin dash, but control-wise, it's pretty smooth. You can control the camera with the L and R buttons. You can zoom out the camera with the Y button, assuming you're playing on the 6-button pad, which I think you should be because it's a Saturn. And overall, there's really not much to do here besides a few side missions, which really don't do anything anyway, I guess just for bragging rights. But there are also different kinds of buildings that you can explore in this place too.
Wait, what happens if you touch it now?
It would restart the same mission that we did last time. And yes, your eyes weren't deceiving you, that was Tails you saw there, and it is possible to reach him, and he'll have you fly into a different location. But besides that, there are also a few other things that you can read here. Like this right here is a monitor that you can read, and in actuality, they are codes. These tell you codes that you can do in the original Sonic games, like the Super Sonic cheat in Sonic 2, which we all know and love. Sonic 1's debug mode, all that kind of stuff. But there are also different kinds of buildings that you can visit, like the character house, which showcases like bios of some Badniks and Eggman. I believe this one over here is the music shop.
Yep.
Which is pretty much all the sound tests from Sonic 1 through Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And I'm not going to bother showing these off because they're pretty basic stuff. And here's Tails right here. Zoom in on that a bit. There we go. Yeah, but pretty much these 3D models were right out of Sonic R.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what came first though. I haven't done my research yet exactly, but I'm pretty sure Sonic R was in development first, and then they just put the models for here. And honestly, just seeing this really makes me wish that Sonic X-trem didn't get canceled. For those of you unaware, Sonic X-trem was supposed to be Sonic's first 3D game for the history of Sonic games. It was really supposed to be released for the Saturn, but it never saw the light of day because of development issues. And I'm sad to say that because this looks like it had enormous potential. This is pretty much Adventure before Adventure was made. Only Sonic is not really that fast. He's going about as fast as Sonic 06 speeds.
Yeah, I kind of.
And he doesn't have, he doesn't have a spin dash. There's no rolling whatsoever. You know, none of that. But then again, this is really just this place really just exists so you can view like the art gallery or the sound test. It's it's a glorified game menu, and there's really not much you can do here.
Isn't this technically the first Sonic hub world?
Could be. Oh, this definitely looks a hell of a lot more interesting than Sonic 06's hub worlds will ever be. Seriously, I mean, you can just stand right here and take a still image and just, yeah, I get Sonic out of this. I really do. But, anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all we can show off with Sonic World. I mean, it's pretty much one of the only reasons why Sonic Jam is really memorable in the first place. But to me, there's more to it than that, but, yeah. You know, there's definitely, it's a neat little distraction. But that's pretty much all we can show off with this place. I'm pretty sure you can find YouTube videos going a bit in deeper with that, but we really don't need to show off that much. So here's the exit. Let's get out of here and play some Sonic 2.
Controller, please.
I will load it up for you. I'm gonna make sure you don't cheat. What do I mean by that? Anyway.
What?
So we got a game. And here, the 4 Sonic games that you are capable of choosing. If you choose Sonic and Knuckles, it'll give you the option to lock on with Sonic 2 and 3, as we all know the results of what that do. But for this LP, we're playing Sonic 2. But we're not just playing Sonic 2. We are going to show off... Well, I didn't know that it had a menu option there. We're going to do Game Start, and we're going to show off the easy mode of both Sonic 2 and 3 on Sonic Jam. That way, Elliot's playthrough with Tails will be a bit different than just doing another, playthrough of Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah, thank you.
So Elliot will have an easier time than I did during our LP of Sonic 2, but I think it's appropriate, seeing that it's Elliot and he's controlling Tails, or you're controlling Sonic.
I'm in Act 2.
No, you cheater. You will hit start, and we will hit restart game.
I'm confused.
Well, I mean, once you boot up the game, it's pretty much... Let me go actually a little more technical onto that. Hit start for a second. Go to down, go to options. Come on, you can do it. Player select, Tails alone. There you go. Now hit start again.
I'm in Act 2.
Okay, now... Alright, so let's go for a little deeper into that. Now, what makes Sonic Jam unique in terms of Sonic compilations is that we're not actually playing a glorified emulator of any sort. No. These are actually the original Sonic games that we know and love running off the Saturn hardware. In fact, you might have saw a bit of slowdown there, which baffles the fuck out of me, because I thought the Saturn was more powerful than the Genesis, to be perfectly honest. But no. Yeah, it is...
I didn't even hit
the Sonic games are being run off the Saturn's hardware, which is why we're able to choose different difficulties to begin with. As you remember, the original Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles don't have difficulty selections. It's always the standard difficulty no matter what you do. But with Sonic Jam, now we can choose Easy Mode. Now, Easy Mode, in terms of all the games, you're pretty much only going through one act of each zone. As you saw, Elliot was already in Emerald Hill Act 2, and that is the end of Emerald Hill right there. But there's also more to it than that. In Easy Mode, there are more rings to collect. Some level design is a bit more streamlined, so you can get from point A to point B a hell of a lot faster. And I think that's about it, but just to make sure, Elliot, if you can, I doubt you'll do it in Chemical Plant Zone, but try and get 50 rings to enter a checkpoint so we can do a special stage. If you want to go the long way in Chemical Plant, by all means. I implore you to make this as different as possible for my playthrough of the game.
I could try.
Another little technical difference here, and this is getting really technical here, is that all the music in the game is run off the CD-ROM. So it's not being sequenced like it was in the Genesis game. So that means that the musical tracks will not get interrupted by sound effects such as picking up rings or bouncing off enemies, which means the music will always play in full clarity rather than getting interrupted like most games back in the day did.
I usually hate it when that really happens, it's like, it ruins the moment for me.
Yeah, we've all seen it, like, you play 8-bit or 16-bit games, and, unless it was being run off a CD-ROM, a lot of the music would get butchered when there's a lot of sound effects running at once, and in Sonic's case, that's usually when, destroy a Badnik, or there's a bunch of explosions and kind of shit like that.
Yeah.
All that stuff. That doesn't happen in this because the music is being played off the CD-ROM. It's being played on a separate track, so we don't have to worry about it getting interrupted. The only thing that kind of bugs me about it, though, is because it's running off a CD, there are no fade in or fade out transitions. The music just stops and starts playing another song. That kind of bugs me. And that was the end of Chemical Plant Zone.
Wow.
Welcome to Aquatic Ruin Zone.
What's going on?
Yeah, some actually don't even bother with boss fights. I'm gonna assume that they thought the Mega Mac boss fight in Chemical Plant was a bit too hard for beginners. So, like you said, yourself lucky.
What's going on here?
What's going on? You're playing easy mode on Sonic Jam.
You're making me look like the.
Oh, Elliot's using Vision 2.
Oh, there goes my shield.
Honestly, though, I have no idea what the hell's causing the slowdown. You think Sega Saturn had more blast processors than the Genesis? Or maybe the Genesis truly was a diabolical beast.
No idea, man.
Well, actually,
we can ask Sega, but like
when I was talking about showing off Sonic 2's easy mode in Sonic Jam, just for the purpose of showing off Sonic Jam to begin with, that's actually the only time we're going to be playing another Sonic game through another compilation.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Hey, you know you have a spin dash, Elliot.
Yeah.
Just like getting that out there. You almost died there, actually.
I know. I know.
When was the last time you played a Sonic game by yourself? That was a serious question, by the way. Why, you're seriously not gonna answer that?
I'm trying to think.
Oh wow, it's been that long, huh?